Please help me, like this video and subscribe. I really appreciate your help. What's a secret you won't share with anyone in person, but you are willing to share anonymously? When I was about 9, I went over to neighbor's house. I would usually go hang out with my adult neighbors because they would let me watch TV and give me snacks in exchange for helping them, with the intention of seeing if I could play with the foster puppies she had. Well, she wasn't there, but her door was unlocked, and I just went in and played with the puppies. When I walked out of the house, she was coming down the driveway. There was a bunch of stuff in front of her door blocking it from view from the driveway. I just pretending like I had been waiting for a minute, and we walked in, and I got to play with the puppies again. I expected this to take a much darker turn, and was pleasantly surprised. Fortunately, no puppies were harmed in the making of this post. When I was very young, I'd put my mom's vibrator in my mouth and turn it on because it felt funny. What the FK is wrong with me? Edit. Shit, I didn't expect this to blow up. I'm a guy. IOBV didn't know what it was used for. I don't remember the taste. It didn't leave any impression on me. I was doing it because of vibrating sensation, not the taste. I'm pretty sure it was clean. Or at least that's what I'm telling to myself all these years. I used to comb my ass hairs with my sister's styling comb when she would piss me off. This is fucking funny. I think that I'm beginning to hallucinate every once in a while. It's mostly little things that are there, and then they aren't. Is it straight on in your vision or your peripheral vision? Or when you quickly look somewhere and see something that isn't real? That would be quite normal. If you're seeing these things dead on for more than a second, then there might be something wrong. Yeah, it is usually never more than a second, but it has been happening with more frequency in the last month. If anything, it could be Charles Bonnet syndrome, which affects a lot of people with low vision. Pretty common. This is super comforting to hear. Lol, I always see shit in my peripherals and thought I was going crazy. Edit. Reddit is worse than WebMD. Edit 2. Please stop telling me I have cancer. I don't want cancer. My last relationship ended because she was cheating with another man. The other man was her dad. Edit. In regards to how I found out, I can't share the gory details as they are pretty identifying. What I do want to say is that it was nothing visible physically. They wouldn't kiss on the lips or do anything that someone could brush off as European friendly. I also never witnessed anything physical happening between them with my own eyes. The proof was in the place where you'd expect it to be in today's day and age, an electronic device. Edit 2. With the amount of messages I've gotten asking, is her name? It doesn't matter what her name is. If that's a person you know, and they are dealing with something like this, help them in any way you can. Final edit. Here's the Amma. Roll Tide. There it is. Something tells me that she's been in a relationship with him for a very long time, and was probably groomed that way since she was little. Women, generally speaking, don't just randomly decide to start sleeping with their fathers. Pretty sure I'm obsessed with being in a relationship, and I've started finding any woman that talks to me attractive. When your preference is abroad, there's plenty of them. My mom abused me for my entire childhood by either being active in the mistreatment or being silent and allowing her boyfriend to do it. Fast forward to now, her mental health issues are taking a toll. She is a drunk meth user and gambling addict. When she calls me, it is like someone I don't even know. Last week she was in the hospital for a heart attack, and I really wish she would just die. I lost her when I was a kid. I feel like this other is an imposter, and I just wanted to die and for her, and I'm not gonna lie, my pain to end. Edit. I just want to say that the response to this post has been a mixture of sadness and happiness for me. I would like to give a somewhat brief overview to my story, and perhaps it will help others. I don't remember when the abuse started, but my earliest memories are of it occurring. Here is a funny joke. What does someone who wears glasses and someone who is abused from an early age have in common? They think how they see the world is normal. I never thought to question anything, ever. For a number of years, I was a quiet child and didn't make many friends because people scared me. By the time I realized something was terribly wrong in my household, I refused to let the few friends I did have over. I have a very vivid memory of being small. I must have been around 4, because my younger brother was an infant. My mother had taken the 3 of us into one of the bedrooms and locked the door while her boyfriend smashed things downstairs and was just losing his mind. He was a meth head too. He had a cattle prod and I could hear the crackling of the electricity through the walls. My mom had burns from it all over her arms. She asked me, a small child, if I would call the police if he broke in. I started crying and begged her to please not make me, that I would get in trouble and he would hurt me, and I was scared. She asked me, do you want me to die? Those words are so clear in my mind, I can still hear it perfectly. To this day I have nightmares of having to call 911 and not being able to speak or pushing the wrong buttons. The abuse became worse. Every trip to the hospital was an accident. Every public outburst was treated as a parent having to wrangle an unruly young kid. I tried to run away in the winter. I packed some clothes in my little backpack and went out onto the ice of a river near our house. I laid down out in the middle, in the cold, and daydreamed, just watching the snow fall down. I was nice and warm in my coat and multi-layered pants. My parents would never buy a snowsuit for me, but I went back because I was scared of what would happen to my mom. Her boyfriend always told me that if I ran away, he would kill her and my brother and keep me alive so that I would have the memory. I stayed until I was 14 and he tried to drown me in dirty dishwater. I ran and started living at a friend's house. My mom would call constantly, begging me to come back, that things had gotten so much worse for her. But I was too afraid and the guilt piled up. He ended up leaving when I was 18. I have not talked to him since. I consider the time I was around him like a terrible, horrible nightmare. My mother spiraled. What was once a functional alcoholic turned into a complete mess. She turned to prostitution to subsidize her addiction. She lived on the streets, and every time I moved and slowly got better, she would call and ask for money. I gave in to that for a long time. I was hospitalized and diagnosed with a number of mental disorders. She called me a malingerer and that my pain was nothing in comparison to her own. I got married and had 2 wonderful children. She tells me my husband will leave because I'm crazy, that my children will grow to be addicts, and that I'm her clone, that I can't escape it. She is like a voice in my head, berating me, while at the same time working her way back in like some sort of abusive spouse. When I listen to music intended for exes, it makes me think of her. Adele's Hello is about my mom for me. To everyone who has dealt with a similar situation, you are amazing. You are strong. You will get through this. When I was young, every fking day was hell. I thought it would never fking end. But it did. It will get better. You just have to make it better. I love you all. I don't know who the hell you are or what you have been through, but I love you. More edit. To every comment that said I won't read your comment, I do. I read every one. Keep them coming. It's just dinner time and I have to make my children foods, so I can't respond right away. Another edit. To the people saying, I didn't have it this bad. Oh wow, what I went through is nothing in comparison. Stop it. You just stop it right now. You have pain. You are allowed to feel it without feeling bad and comparing it to another person's pain and suffering. We don't sit around comparing our joys, do we? You don't win $100 off of a scratch ticket and immediately tell yourself, well, this is stupid. I don't have as much money as Bill Gates. Your suffering is just as goddamn legitimate as mine, because it's you who felt it. Well, it's a secret my mom confided in my GF, somehow not expecting her to tell me. I found out a month ago, still has me fked up. My dad had committed suicide when I was 2 years old, 2 days before Christmas. It always left me wondering why. I'm 24 now and just found out. She was cheating on him with my stepdad. She had also told him he would never see me again. So he took his own life at his place of work after hours cause he didn't know where else to go. I always thought my middle name being my stepdad's first name was just a coincidence, because I don't remember him coming into my life until a couple years later. My mom found out she was pregnant with my little sister 3 days after my dad's death. I've always resented my stepdad before cause he burnt all my baby pictures with my dad in them, and I never knew why. I look nothing like my stepdad BTW and still haven't confronted my mom. Edit. I read most of your comments and am still going through them. Thank you all, especially you/Cuban. I'm going to take his advice, and when the time comes talk to my mom and forgive her. Also thank you from whoever for the Reddit gold. I didn't expect this to blow up like it did. Update. I want to thank you /little squirrel for his advice and checking with FB groups. I have a couple leads, so I'm going to see if the people who responded had any pictures of him in high school. Your stepdad is a fucking CCK for burning those photos. Those are your memories and he stole them from you. Thank you very much for watching. Write in the comments below the video, what secret are you willing to share anonymously? And also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.